Tonight on UCentral News. Early voting is quickly approaching. Find out how you can make sure your vote counts. In social media, this pop star has been seen impersonating other celebrities. Riley Townsend will have who and why. The big homecoming game is right around the corner. Here are your latest updates with Ian Nickel. And finally, meet the quirky statue that has become a community favorite. All this and more happening right now on UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Shanice Hopkins.
And I'm Maureen Dirk. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
With early voting well underway in many states, officials across the country are working to maintain the security of the presidential election while combating misinformation and foreign advisories attempting to interfere. Reporter Brian Abel is in Washington with the latest efforts to ensure your vote is counted.
We have multiple layers of security around several systems.
Battleground Georgia, revealing Wednesday it successfully fended off a cyber attack this month from what officials there believe to be a foreign entity who targeted the state's absentee ballot request website. Though federal officials haven't yet confirmed its origin, it would be the latest in a slew of attempts by foreign adversaries to meddle in the 2024 election. Microsoft reporting it detected probing of election-related websites in multiple U.S. swing states by Iranian government-linked hackers in a possible effort to discover vulnerabilities. Iran denies the Microsoft assessment. Russia also reported to be at the forefront of misinformation campaigns attempting to influence the election. Just this week, U.S. intelligence assessed that Russian operatives created, then amplified false social media content meant to smear Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz. Officials are also combating homegrown misinformation intended to stoke fears of the election not being secure, including false claims that voting machines were flipping votes in states like Nevada and Georgia. A Georgia election official explaining how an inaccurate rumor started.
There was a senior citizen voter who printed her ballot and said, this isn't who I chose. And they followed the procedure. They went to the poll manager. They said, let's go over here and we'll spoil this ballot. We'll let you vote again. She told a couple people that story. It turned into a post. And then it was picked up by other people and said machines are flipping votes, which is nobody claimed that actually happened.
Officials adding there is zero evidence of machines flipping votes. In Washington, Brian Abel.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Postal Service is battling claims of widespread fraud in mail-in ballots and saying that it is, quote, taking extraordinary measures to ensure this secure and timely delivery of all 2024 election mail.
In Gainesville, Florida, a 73-year-old man voted for the first time after spending decades behind bars. Rufus Rochelle says he was wrongfully convicted in 1988 for possession and conspiracy of distributing drugs. He spent 34 years in federal prison before he was released in 2020. As a convicted felon, Rochelle wasn't allowed to vote until his sentence was complete. Tuesday, he voted for the first time in his life. He said he wants to remind everyone that voting is not just a right, but a powerful tool for change.
A 17-year-old from Arizona was arrested for allegedly planning an attack on a recent Pride event in Phoenix. Marvin J-Lo has been charged as an adult with 2 terrorism charges. Stephen Sarabia reports.
The LGBTQ plus community of Greater Phoenix is here, is not going anywhere, will not be intimidated, will stand strong and stand unified.
An ISIS-inspired terrorist attack foiled before last week's Pride Parade. Organizers responding to the shocking arrest.
I am here while in a very sober moment to say that happily the Phoenix Pride Festival and Parade went on uninhibited, uninterrupted.
The suspect is identified as 17-year-old Marvin J-Lo. He was arrested at his home in Peoria and is facing terrorism charges. According to court records, J-Lo communicated with other people in online chat rooms, stating he was going to bomb the 2024 Pride Parade.
What was this plan?
Well, we can piece together some of it by looking at what he was doing online. We know that, for example, he was researching the Pride event that we had this past weekend in the Valley. And that's one of the reasons that our office worked so quickly to get this individual in custody. So he was arrested before the Pride event ever took place.
Investigators say J-Lo purchased the supplies to build explosive devices and watched ISIS videos that showed how to make them. He was arrested the day before the parade.
It is important to recognize that in this moment, our partners in public safety, our partners in law enforcement, did what they needed to do to keep our community safe.
As J-Lo awaits trial, Phoenix Pride says they aren't going to let something like this stop them from hosting events in the future.
In the wake of moments like this, I think it only leads us to redouble our resolve to move forward, to continue doing what we do for the community.
J-Lo is being held on a $1 million cash-only bond. Now we're going to toss it to Carly for our first look at weather.
Thank you, Shanice. We're going to look at our current conditions today. We are sitting at about 89 degrees, and it is very hot and windy outside. That wind is coming from the south-southwest at about 20 miles per hour, and our wind gusts are up to 32 miles per hour. Our humidity, not too much of a problem right now. It is at 30%, and our UV is at 1, but it was at a 6 earlier today. With that wind being so crazy, we are going to start feeling those allergies. That wind is going to move all of those pollens around. So as you can see, tree and mold spores are still on the low scale. Grass at a moderate, and then our ragweed is what's really causing our problems, and that's the one that's super high right now. Looking ahead, with the winds picking up, we are still at a very high fire danger risk, and that is going to be our biggest concern right now. We do have a cold front moving in tonight. It is going to cool us off for the next couple of days. It may bring a few showers, but it's not going to be enough to sadly combat the drought that we have going on right now. And that is all I have for you right now. I'll throw it back to you guys back at the desk. Thank you, Carly. I know I'm definitely feeling that Oklahoma heat. Later today, organizations are going to be going head-to-head in Yale. I interviewed UCO's Homecoming Board, students, and homecoming royalty to learn more about this event.
My name is Catherine Plunkett, and I am a homecoming royalty candidate representing the leaders of tomorrow. My favorite thing about Yale is the late night practices, having fun with my peers.
Hello guys, my name's Emily Leon, and I am your homecoming traditions director. Join us tonight at Chad Richardson Stadium at 8 p.m. to see our 5th annual Yell event. Yell is a tradition here on the UCO campus during homecoming where organizations can cast their homecoming and UCO spirit through a chant.
Most excited for homecoming is Yell, which is tonight, and I'm competing with Alpha Zeta Delta, so go watch.
I'm a member of Alpha Tau Omega, and I'm so excited for Yell. I'm doing Yell with Pike, and I'm super excited.
Hooves up, roll chose. Today's a great day to be a Bronco.
Back to you guys at the desk. We'll see you tonight at Yale.
The Public Health Club is hosting a winter clothing drive in the Health and Physical Education building until November 14th. They will be partnering with the Curbside Chronicle and the OKC Homeless Alliance. The three organizations are looking for numerous items such as backpacks, coats, gloves, jeans, and hats. You can find the drop-off bucket located in the Health and Physical Education building next to Wantland Hall. Students can drop off these clothing items until 8 p.m. on November 14th. Now, we mentioned it earlier, but the weather is looking really good for this homecoming game on Saturday.
Carly Torbo will have your full weather forecast when we come back.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead. Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Good afternoon and welcome back to UCentral. We are going to look at our current conditions today. We are sitting at about 89 degrees. It is very hot and windy outside. Winds coming in from the south-southwest at about 20 miles per hour with gusts up to 32 miles per hour. Humidity is sitting at about 30%. UV is still at a 1. It was at 6 earlier today. Looking at across the state, as you can see, we are still seeing those 90s and high 80s. It is going to cool down later in the next couple of days with that cold front moving in, but metro area, we do have 89 and Guyman at 88. Going into tonight, we are going to go down to 58 degrees. Still going to be windy. It is going to bump down just a little bit, but not too much. It's still coming up from the south at about 17 miles per hour. Humidity is going to be a bump up just a little bit as well with 47%, and we have no chances of rain tonight. But tonight across the state, as you can see, more in the southern part of the state, we are seeing those lower 60s. Metro area still is going to be at a 59, and then Panhandle, we are seeing 40s with 44 and Woodward at 48. Tomorrow, like I said, we have that cold front coming in, so we are going to see another look at those 70s. Metro area is going to be at 78, Clinton at 76, Woodward 72. Guyman is actually hitting the 60s at 69. And as far as it goes for this weekend, we do have that Bronco homecoming this weekend against Pittsburgh State. We are going to be seeing 70s, so really nice weather. At 3 o'clock, though, that is going to be the high for the day, which is 75, which is really nice. It is only going to be about 75 for about an hour or so, and then it is going to slowly decrease as the evening goes on. Maureen and Shanice, do you have any plans for this weekend, especially with this nice weather we're having?
Yes, I'm super excited for homecoming. Honestly, I think that's the perfect weather for homecoming. What about you?
I am so excited. I'm ready to have these 70s back in our lives, and it's going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch.
I'm really thrilled about the 70s that we are seeing, and I'm excited for the festival that comes before.
Yes.
Coming up, brand new music from Halsey is coming out tomorrow.
And find out which Marvel story is coming to a close. Stay with us.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that.
All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Good afternoon, Broncos. I'm Riley Townsend here with your Central Social Media Breakdown. Halsey is releasing new music once again. Over the past few weeks, Halsey's been posting teasers from her new album on her Instagram page. The album is titled The Great Impersonator. Halsey's posts are of her impersonating other celebrities, hence the album title. Different celebrities have inspired the songs on her album. The celebrities she impersonates includes Britney Spears, Kate Bush, and even herself from her previous album, Badlands. Halsey said in an Instagram post, "I made this recording in the space between life and death, and it feels like I've waited an eternity for you to have it." The songs on the album include Lucky, The End, and Lonely is the Muse. Halsey's new studio album, The Great Impersonator, will be released on all music platforms tomorrow, Friday, October 25th. Venom: The Last Dance premiered in American theaters today. The story is part 3 of the Venom saga and the third and final piece of the villain-turned-anti-hero story. Tom Hardy returns as Eddie Brock, the world closing in on Eddie and Venom as they go off the grid. They face a difficult choice to pursue a supervillain known as Null, played by actor Andy Serkis. This movie will ultimately close the curtain on the Venom chapter of Marvel. The movie is being praised for its silliness and heart, as well as Hardy's performance. Fans are calling it a fitting swan song for the Venom character. Cardi B has been hospitalized after suffering a medical emergency. Yesterday, the 32-year-old rapper announced that she is recovering from an undisclosed medical emergency and would be canceling her upcoming performance at ONE Music Fest. "I am sad to share this news, but I've been in the hospital recovering from a medical emergency the last couple of days, and I won't be able to perform at ONE Music Fest," the singer shared on Instagram. The Weekend Festival is taking place in Atlanta, Georgia, October 26th and 27th, with Cardi B scheduled to perform on Saturday. She said it broke her heart not to be able to see her fans over the weekend. She thanked her fans for their understanding, saying she would be back stronger soon. Beginning this Tuesday, Starbucks came out with 2 brand new drinks in partnership with the upcoming movie Wicked release. People across the United States and Canada can purchase the drinks at any Starbucks location. These are limited time drinks inspired by the 2 main characters of the movie, Glinda and Elphaba. Glinda's pink drink potion is the definition of all things pink. The drink is a mango dragon fruit refresher with freeze-dried mango fruit inside, coconut milk, and a non-dairy strawberry cold foam topped with candy sprinkles. Likewise, Elphaba's is a cold brew flavored with peppermint syrup, topped with matcha cold foam and green sprinkles. These limited time drinks are even available at our very own UCO Starbucks. Maureen, Shanice, have you had the new drinks?
I have not had them yet, but honestly, they look kind of good and refreshing. What about you?
I had one this morning. I had Glinda's pink drink, and I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I know. I definitely like the pink drink at Starbucks,
Right.
so I'm going to have to give Glinda a try.
I guess so.
Thank you, Riley. Coming up, the game we've all been talking about, UCO versus Pitt State.
And the Thunder finally tip off tonight. Ian Nickel will break it down when we come back.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold.
This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
It is a massive weekend for Broncos football as a top 10 showdown awaits Central Oklahoma this Saturday against the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. So much is at stake for this game. Possible playoff seeding and a potential conference title are on the line Saturday. The Broncos are 7-0 while the Gorillas are 6-1. And I could go on and on about the Broncos offense, but I do want to highlight one player I think is going to be an X factor in Saturday's game. Tight end Dominic Dunn is my X factor of the game. Terrell Davis and Ashton Schumann are your receivers 1 and 2. And Pitt State will attempt to cover them tightly and force Jet Huff to find other receivers. I think Huff will have to rely on Dunn as a safety target in this game. Last week he caught 2 passes and his first touchdown of the season. I expect him to get used more and more as we get later on into the season. And after UCO's dominant victory against number 3 Nebraska Kearney, the Broncos enter the top 10 and hosted an Arkansas Fort Smith team who lost 5 straight. Easy win, right? Nope. Unfortunately, the Broncos fell to the Fort Smith Lions 3-1 in a highly competitive affair, with all 3 sets being decided by 3 points or less. This marks just the second loss of the season for this Bronco volleyball team and was the Cho's first loss at home. The Broncos will have a chance to avenge themselves Saturday against those same Lions, this time at Fort Smith. Game time is at 1 p.m. To the pitch, the Broncos soccer season concludes their 2024 home schedule this weekend with 2 games against in-state rivals. First, the Riverhawks of Northeastern State. The last time these 2 teams played in Edmond, the Riverhawks won 2-1. The 2 teams will play Friday at 7 p.m. Then on Sunday, the Chos will honor their 8 seniors before the game against the Rogers State Hillcats. In the 10 meetings these 2 teams have played, the Bronze and Blue are 8-1-1 all time. Senior Day Sunday will start at 12:30 p.m. and the last regular season home game will start at 1 p.m. To the lights of Friday night, as all 4 Edmond schools will be in action in meaningful district matchups. We're going to highlight just 2 of them as they are the best weeks of the game here in Edmond. Starting off with the Antlers of Deer Creek, they take their 4-1 district record, the Norman, to take on another 4-1 team in 6A1 in the Norman Tigers. This game could determine which team gets home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs. And then Edmond Memorial looks to bounce back after their blowout loss to Owasso by hosting the Westmore Jaguars. The Jaguars, like the NFL team in Jacksonville, are 2-5 this year and hope to salvage their win with an upset win over in Edmond. Both games kick off at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And at long last, the Oklahoma City Thunder play basketball tonight. The Thunder tip off their 17th season as a franchise tonight in the Rocky Mountains as they take on reigning NBA MVP Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets. Former Thunder legend Russell Westbrook is expected to make his Nuggets debut tonight after he signed a 1-year contract this past offseason. The Thunder are going into this game and will be missing Isaiah Hartenstein, Jalen J. Will Williams, and Kendrick Williams, who are all out due to injury. Tip-off is at 9 p.m. tonight on TNT. Shanice and Marine, I am so fired up for this game. I'm going to be wide awake. I might take a drink of energy or something. What about you guys?
I'm super excited that the Thunder are playing. I'm expecting to go to a couple games this season. Do you think they have a chance?
I think they do. I think this game is going to be really good. 2 competitive teams, could be for the Western Conference Finals down the line. I want to see Shea put up some big numbers tonight, though, and I think he will.
Yeah, the Thunder has definitely gotten better over the years, and I'm excited to catch a few games. Thank you, Ian. Coming up after the break, find out the history behind why there is a giant blue hippo statue in Edmond.
And Carly will have our final look at weather when we come back.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead. Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
How much difference can one vote make? Since 2023, more than 60 U.S. elections have been tied or won by just one vote. So this fall, your friend could be the tiebreaker. And that could make all the difference. People are more likely to vote when encouraged by a friend. So use your power to decide this election. Make sure you're good to vote and encourage your friends to make a voting plan at votevotevote.com.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
The Round Barn and Pop's Soda Shop are both popular Route 66 attractions, but did you know that there's one even closer to the heart of Edmond? I went to the Edmond History Museum to find out more. If you're an Edmond resident, you've probably driven past this statue plenty of times and thought to yourself, why is it here? Well, this wacky hippo is more than just a statue. He's considered to be an Edmond icon, and he's capturing the hearts of many locals and even people nationwide.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
Meet Happy the Hippo, a 9-foot-tall blue hippopotamus that sits north of Broadway. Amy Stevens, director of the Edmond History Museum, shares why Happy means so much to the community.
Oh, people love Happy because he's fun and he's kind of silly. I've had people come in and tell me the greatest stories.
To some, Happy may just be a statue, but to others, he's become a Route 66 icon, inspiring festivals and even his own line of merchandise.
Yes, well, during COVID, we started thinking we need something fun and outdoors to do, and what's a symbol of Edmond that everybody can get behind? And who doesn't love a blue hippo?
Amy says Happy isn't going anywhere. He'll continue to bring smiles to Edmond and beyond. Reporting from Edmond, Shanice Hopkins, UCentral News.
I had no clue Happy was out there. I've definitely been to Pops, but that is something I'm definitely going to have to check out.
I think a lot of people just drive past them so many times that they don't notice him anymore for sure.
Well, I know we definitely are feeling that heat as well as Happy the Hippo. Let's toss it over to Carly for our last look at weather.
Thank you so much. We are going to look at our 7-day forecast today. Today, as you see, our high was at 90. We are having that cold front move in, so we are going to be seeing those 70s on Friday and Saturday. And then it is going to pick back up on Monday and Tuesday back into those 80s, and then Wednesday right back down to those 70s. And then as our hourly forecast, as we hit 5 o'clock, it's still going to be windy from now until later tonight, but we are going to be at 88 at 5 o'clock. Around 6, we are going to be at 87. Our sunset is going to be at about 6:45, and then whenever it gets dark outside, it's still going to be windy around 7, but we are going to be seeing that temperature drop just a little bit down to 84. And that is all I have for you today. Back to you, Shanice and Marine at the desk.
You know, it's not common for it to be 80s in October, but I'm not upset about it. Like I mentioned before, I'm happy that it's good weather for homecoming.
Yes, as long as we don't have rain.
Right.
Like, I'm okay with the heat just this time, but then I'm definitely going to want those fall temperatures to come.
For sure. I don't want it to rain. I think we'll win in the game, hopefully. Hopefully the good weather will give all the players a little boost or something. I don't know.
I will say, did you see that 7-day, how it's going up and down, up and down?
Yes.
I am definitely feeling that. And if we're going to be hot, Oklahoma, choose the heat. If we're going to be cold, let's do that.
Just pick one, please. At least it'll be good for our homecoming festivities. Yes. Well, that's all we have for you today. I'm Shanice Hopkins.
And I'm Maureen Dirk. Thank you for watching UCentral News.
Ooh.